little more. We're going to find out more about a movie that's releasing soon, and much of it was actually shot here in Mississippi on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Joining us today on Good Things to Share a little bit more is Sean Riley. He is the screenwriter of the titled flick Royal Jelly. Hi, Sean.
Hey, Rebecca. It's good to talk to you again.
It's good to have you back. It's good to see that you're making more movies here in Mississippi, or are writing for movies being made in Mississippi. And this one, man, I don't know what to say. It's going to be very interesting. So let's get to it, because I have shared the trailer for Royal Jelly on SuperTalk's Twitter as well as Facebook pages. So you'll have to go check it out. But Sean, take us to the beginning. Where did you get the inspiration for such a movie?
Well, this actually went all the way back to 1999 when I was an undergraduate film student at the University of Southern Mississippi. And I was always kind of had a mental file of things that could potentially make interesting stories. And some way I came upon some factoids about honeybees and how, first of all, their hierarchy is kind of like, it was, seemed to be the opposite of the traditional society, where the women really ran, they really run, or the female honeybees, I should say, run the hierarchy. And, they're responsible for going out and getting the food and fighting and all that kind of stuff. And the drones, the males, kind of hang back and then just kind of hang around in the hive and everything. And I thought that could kind of an interesting thing as a society that's kind of flipped on its head. And I always kept that in my mind, and I, tried, reworked it over the years of things. And when I, started making movies when I got close to 40. I still had made my first movie, and so I got really serious about it and doubled down, and it kind of resurfaced, and I reworked it, reimagined it, kind of at an independent film level, and here we go.
And here we go. Okay, so the title has meaning, Royal Jelly, to actual bee life in nature. So what's the background on that?
Well, I guess that was the part that really kind of cinched this for me, made things click, because royal jelly is a substance that the bees feed to their female worker bees, and it kind of sets off certain genes in bees, and that's what makes them actually become queens. And I kind of thought that there was a Cinderella quality to that, to where maybe like just a random female worker bee gets fed this substance, and actually becomes at random almost like a queen. And I was like, wow, that would kind of turn things on its head. A Cinderella story set within this world of bees, and then turn into horror. And all of a sudden, you had an interesting concept on my hands. So.
Well, it definitely looks like it's going to be a thriller, Sean. I'll have to give you full credit for that, just watching the trailer for it. So how do you even start to unpack this story? I mean, we're not going to give it away, but it is obviously, there's a love story and mixed into a little bit of horror, sort of thriller around this idea of bees. So, I mean, do you just flesh out your characters as it goes, or did you already have kind of where you wanted it to head?
Well, I think once I had the structure of the bee hierarchy and the royal jelly and the Cinderella aspect and everything kind of fell into place. I did make a really concerted effort to spend a lot of time with the characters to set them up. I didn't want it to be a standard horror movie where people just get killed and that's, and on, that surface level. So, I did want to make the characters more dimensional and characters you spend time with and actually care about when things start to happen and that they seem meaningful. And also that, it is kind of grounded in enough reality that when things start to happen, it kind of feels like we're moving into a different movie here, and it is more shocking.
It's definitely shocking, or at least keep going back to say I've seen the trailer. I will watch this one, even though I'm not into horror flicks. I'm intrigued. One reason I'm intrigued, Sean, is that it was filmed a lot here in Mississippi, particularly on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. So when you were out looking for locations, I mean, where were you drawn to? What were you looking for in terms of landscapes, and why was the Gulf Coast a great spot for it?
Well, it was filmed entirely on the Gulf Coast, entirely in Mississippi. And I recently have retransplanted myself onto the coast. I used to live more in the central part of the state. And just, being a filmmaker, you're always kind of looking out for what's around you, resources and things, especially as an independent filmmaker, you're looking for ready-made, inexpensive film locations. And the primary house that was used was one that had been on my radar for a while. And, I kind of kept in the back of my mind, and then I knew I had the royal jelly story. And that's part of when I had the location, I kind of retooled the story to fit the location. And, it's just down here on the coast and in Mississippi in general, but the coast, you have such a diversity of film locations. I mean, you have things, like New Orleans influenced locations, and you've got the beach, and you've got urban, you've got rural. I mean, you've got a little bit of everything. So it's just a really nice place to live and make movies.
Now, I know even for the royal jelly, Sean, you brought in a bee wrangler, I see here, Daniel Allen, who actually is a beekeeper there in Jackson County here in Mississippi. I mean, how did you seek him out as sort of helping you with the actual bee part of the movie?
Well, that is a crazy story, and you wonder if things happen by fate sometimes. And Dan came on. I forget what I was looking for, but I met a beekeeper. I think I saw him on the side of the road or something, and just stopped and kind of had a conversation. I think I was actually looking for locations, funny enough. And this guy's like, I can't help you, but let me introduce you to this guy who can. And that was Dan. And so just kind of talking to Dan, and Dan kind of got super interested. And, initially he was brought on to kind of help, obtain bees, and we call a bee wrangler, who kind of just, basically just watches over the bees and makes sure that everything's taken care of and that we're doing what we're supposed to do. And so anyway, but he became much more involved in the movie and kind of gave us some pointers and suggestions and things about the story and what they might do and what they might not do, and just became a really integral part of the production.
All right, so when do we get to watch it, Sean? Royal Jelly, shot 100% right here in Mississippi, on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. When does it hit theaters, or how can we actually view it?
Well, it actually releases today, and you can catch it on a variety of platforms. You're most likely to catch it on Amazon streaming, Amazon Prime. You can catch it on Vudu. Your cable companies, like if you've got DirecTV or satellite, and you can do on-demand type of movies, purchase those. You can find it there. Apple TV, just the host of Google Play, Yahoo. Host of platforms you can find it on today. And I'm sure, too, if we go to Royal Jelly's website, you probably have everywhere we can watch it there as well. Would that be fair? Yeah, our Facebook page is our primary source of information, so you can go there to find out the latest news and things like that, where to watch it. And, it's a pretty unique title, so if you Google it, you probably will find a good location to watch it on, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. I have to say, too, the poster art is quite thrilling. Nice. It's stand out. You're not going to miss it if you Google Royal Jelly. Okay, so what is it rated? Well, there's no definitive rating, but I would say it's probably it is a mature movie. It's for adults 17 and above. Okay. That's fair. Just it's a pretty set us up for what it's tame for a horror. I would say it's tame for a horror movie, but it does have its moments. It is a horror movie at the end of the day. So there's that. So can we watch it alone, or is it one that you should not watch alone? Well, of course, I'm going to recommend you watch it with someone and spread the word and have everyone watch it. But certainly, you can watch it alone, and however you like to watch movies. And I would say it's more of a probably more creepy than it is like a fright fest kind of thing, jump scare. Because, like I said, it is big on character and things like that. But there's certainly that in there, and there's something for every type of horror enthusiast there. So, yeah. Well, I probably will never look at bees the same. I'm still going to enjoy my honey, I'm sure, Sean. But I do recommend people at least going to check out the trailer and then making the decision then. I mean, it looks like you've put an incredible amount of work into it, and the trailer is very well done. So, I mean, I think it's pretty neat that you continue to make movies. You continue to do them here in Mississippi. So for that, we should at least, go and support your efforts, even if we have to do it with the lights on and with a crowd of people. Right. There you go. All righty, Sean. Well, I appreciate your time here on Good Things, and that Facebook page is just Royal Jelly. Yes, Royal Jelly on Facebook. Once Upon a Hive. And again, you can catch the trailer obviously online, but I have tweeted it out at SuperTalk's Twitter, as well as you can find it on SuperTalk's Facebook page. But we've got more for you coming up next.